I'm one of those degenerates that played 1.0, okay? I had to suffer for you guys to live. I guess I wanted to talk about this because, like, I don't think I've ever, like, talked about this, like, it really extensively, like, through everything. When I first saw this, me and Nari were sitting at my mom's house after having played Final Fantasy XI for, like, 4 years together, and I had been playing, I think, Final Fantasy XI for like 5 or 6 years together. We were just barely out of high school. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, and it's been so long since this time, and like everything that's fucking happened, I don't know. It's scary to me because I was coming home from school, went to GameStop. They didn't even realize that this game was releasing at GameStop, and they handed me this before the, like, Final Fantasy XIV, like the collector's edition, before like the store even opened. And this is after me playing like all the betas and everything, by the way, but on the release. And they didn't even realize, like, I feel like this is not properly, like, even advertised, because the guy was like, Final Fantasy XIV, like, what the hell is that? Like, I didn't even, they just put out like 13 or something like at the time. Right? Anyhow, this video though, I remember I think this is the right one. Me and Nari, like, basically watched this on my mom's couch because we were like so hyped because it looks so pretty. There was like nothing like this in the game. It almost looks like Crystarium. I guess it's kind of like is this supposed to be the quicksands, maybe? What's crazy is the models aren't that different than what they are now. Like, there's Derplander. Like, that's the one thing they kept. You think it's the Drowning Wench?
Very well.
Like, that guy is on the first. If you guys, I've never seen him anywhere else in the game. That guy is on the first, and like obviously these are like the actual like people that are with Ardbert.
I grow weary of the company.
The feeling, my dear, is mutual.
Yeah, it was called Rapture.
What do we have here? No job is too daunting as long as the coin is good.
Ah, it's sell your own
This
mother.
cutscene blew my mind, me too.
My father too. Now quiet down and help me decide.
There's another video after this one I want to show, because I think they don't have the particular shot. That's insane. The creepy eyes.
Choose as you will.
That's what they look like in CGI.
In a frenzy the likes I've never seen.
Look out! He's right on top of us!
Killed us for a revolutionary system. Dude, the surplus system was revolutionary. God, that's so pretty. When you see this for the first time, for an MMO too, like, and you were playing Final Fantasy XI, it was insane. Paladin dude, the elven chick that's like the Shadow Keeper. The Lalafell, the white maid. You forgot the elves and girls in it? Yeah, that's why I was like, holy shit, when she was on the first. They had crazy call-outs though. I liked how she gave him fire and they never really implemented this in the game. They kind of had a system that did something similar. That was pretty cool to see at the time. Sylvia, yeah, that's her name. Then what the fuck is that coming out of nowhere? It was like super far and like high tech. Because we didn't have anything like that in Final Fantasy XI, if I remember correctly. The closest thing was like Alexander. I'm curious if they'll still use him after Endwalker. The music is so fucking weird. I don't think we've ever seen these like models in like current game either, except for the Agarius, right? So this is the airship that's in Mordona that's like crashing into our somewhere wrapped around it. Oh, you're right. You do. Oh shit! I completely forgot. You're right. They do have them. Right. I completely forgot about that. It's crazy that Big Barcelona's model has like kind of lasted too. That look. And I think the like fire that's falling into the sky right there, it wasn't originally supposed to be like that for Amarant, but now they like reinterpreted it from this event to Amarant. Because in 1.0 you would see like the star showers. What the fuck is happening? It's Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. These are some fucking shit up. Yeah, this is the Battle of Silver Shadow. It's a bit loud. Is it really? I'll turn down a little bit. It's crazy because you could see the primals and like we saw Titan pretty early because we never got to see Titan actually in 1.0 itself besides this cutscene. Because you were supposed to originally get Nipper and Titan first.
Look who's returned from his reverie.
And I think they were supposed to do Leviathan too.
So nice of you to join us again.
Cat girl with that accent is weird.
Well, don't keep us in suspense.
Because, like, that's supposed to be like an echo.
This one.
I'm pretty confident.
We'll start with this one.
Ah, he speaks.
Can we go now?
Because, like, Echo was even present back then. It's weird that it kind of lasted the whole entire time through 14. Echo flash forward instead of flash back. I think that they interpreted it how to explain this. I don't know if they interpreted it as like a flash forward. I just think they had him embodying someone else, and thus he was in that person's body looking like himself. But I don't know for sure. Because in 1.0, they never like did a flash forward. So I don't know if they ever intended for Echo to flash forward. I think the only person in like current day Final Fantasy XIV that can like do the flash forward is that girl from Boja, right? In this one. All right. So obviously I don't want to go into too much detail about every single fucking thing that happened in like 1.0, obviously, right? Like, and there's just like the major problems. But like, for what it's worth, I still think they kind of salvaged it in a lot of ways for the player base that was there. And I think a lot of people still had friends and had a lot of fun and enjoyed the game. Like, I don't want to ever say like it was a good game, And it was a good game for the people who were playing it, I think. And I think everyone who played it kind of accepted it for what it was, but it was never going to be what it is now. And it's kind of crazy because of like how popular it is now. I really think it could have been solid and more acceptable as like a game, but I don't know if it would have ever made it like completely all the way there. It got really, I think it got really close for like someone who would play Final Fantasy XI or play like more old school MMO. It was never going to be a mass appeal thing though. So when they finally did the like, we knew they were going to shut down the servers. We knew on the very last day that there was going to be basically a ton of mobs that were being released. Like the servers were just like completely fucked and unstable, right? And everyone was kind of like hanging out either in Ul'dah, like I'm sure some people have like heard of like the Gooby Wall and stuff like that, and then them releasing like mobs into Ul'dah and like rampaging through the streets like with like level 99 mobs and shit like that. Like that was happening. And then if you go to Mordona, you'd also have like Garleans all over the place. There'd be like mobs at Aetherites, like because there's like these special Aetherites that were like corrupted and shit, and you'd have to like defend them or like purge them of being corrupted and stuff. And but anyhow, there was like mobs just going crazy throughout all of Mordona, and because that was supposed to be like to simulate like the Battle of Cartano, right? But like actually happening live, like the servers are literally fucking imploding though, so you couldn't really tell what was going on. It was just there was mobs all over the place. So a lot of people, like at least that I was with, we were more just like hanging out like on our chocobos, just kind of waiting. And when the servers finally went down, they put this up. We had no idea that this was coming. We knew Dalamud was gonna fall, but we had no idea we were getting a CGI trailer. Like they never gave any idea that we were getting this. So we didn't get exactly the Flames of Truth, but this is the full thing of what we got. Is an NPC in The Rising who is the model of a GM who spawned mobs in 1.0. Wait, really? Didn't know that. It was eerie because this sound like of this song was constantly playing throughout all the zones, like echoing too. Like, so if you were in like any zone that was close to where Dalamud was gonna fall, you could hear this. And you could see Dalamud in the sky. You thought this is no, there was the earlier ones. Old Kurthus. It's crazy seeing it without snow. Okay, Boomer. It was weird because you gather outside Darkhold and just be a green all over the place. Yeah, it was really cool. It was like played in the launcher itself. When you were 12, this happened. I think it happened when I was 19 or 20. It gives you chills every time. Yeah, it gives me chills too. It's like so bittersweet because like you wouldn't be playing the game for so long after. Sid without a beard. And maybe I didn't know much about the lore, but I had no fucking idea what was about to break out. And maybe I didn't read into it enough. But I do not remember Bahamut being the thing that was gonna fucking break out of this. At all indicated. Like, so that was the absolute craziest thing. UCOB should make you appreciate this cutscene more, because UCOB is literally made based upon this cutscene. Like, UCOB's the living embodiment of this cutscene. Or like the actual, like the fight equivalent, right? When I got to UCOB, the golden phase, like, for the very first time, it was definitely like a very emotional moment. You never hit, you have big Bahamut listen to this? Yeah. Had the calamity not happened in 1.0? Not when this cutscene happened. It happened right at the end of 1.0. So this is what we got, or what you're seeing. In front of Louis, why? Yeah, for sure. It's crazy because as players, you actually have a quest to go around and pray to every single one of the stones that the Scions are at right there in that cutscene. You have, like, but there's more of them out in the world. You go to literally every stone of the 12 to, like, pray and give Aether for this. Yeah, we did know about Louis Spawn 1.0. I can explain in a minute. And we were like never explained how exactly our characters would transfer, but obviously how we knew right here. The cutscene cuts off right here in the 1.0 version though. So obviously this is the Coils version, right? That continues. By the way, before I go any further, I'm gonna cut it off right here. If you come back in like 2 to 4 minutes, if you don't want to see the Coil cutscene version of this. Oh, Kumiko, thank you for the raid. But if for any reason you have not seen this and gone through Coils yet, come back in like 2 to 3 minutes. All right, I'm starting it now. But we didn't have this, so we had no idea what happened. So the one thing I don't understand is that supposed to be the 12, or what the hell is this? I still have never understood that. Oh yeah, I mean that's so because it's like he's using the symbols of 12 on that. This cutscene is so absolutely ridiculous that he gets Dragon Ball Z. Like an old man going back. Intense. It's so intense. Oh my god. And there's the crystal you go in, even for Bahamut, for like Final Toil. Yeah, that's a good show. And that's I think that's supposed to be the area in Mordona. You can kind of see in the background. Or maybe it's, yeah, I think so. It's crazy because, like, when you were doing coils, like, we had no idea there's gonna be actual, like, CGI cutscenes. When you beat T12 for the first time, unless you, like, saw it because of, like, people uploading and stuff like that, I don't feel like I ever had anything like that when I played WoW. Outside of maybe Arthas, when I was doing ICC, to have that level of impact, like going through a raid environment. Like, that was one of the things that made ICC, at least, even though, like, ICC is not perfect, and, like, I know so many people like Old War, ICC was, like, and like, coils, like, to me, like, are very, like, similar in the sense of they have, like, very, very strong story elements and, like, attached to them and, like, give you, like, massive motivation, especially in the case of coil, because of, like, if you're a 1.0 player, there was just shit you didn't know after, like, having basically 1.0 happen and have, like, you just get teleported off, and then the other version of this cutscene, you know, has, like, the Odin, Behemoth, and then Crystal Tower and all that kind of stuff being shown off, right? And, like, them riding on chocobo backs and everything. But this one hit, like, so much differently. But it was legit a gift to the 1.0 players. Yeah. You beat Bahamut once. I beat, like, I beat him quite a bit, but, like, it was a major, like, thing at the time to, like, have that cutscene play after finally beating E12 or T12, because you then have to go fight Bahamut immediately after, like, because you first fight Phoenix Louiswa. Okay. Then Heaven's Word. Oh god. Oh god, 1 second. Heaven's Word. Heaven's Word is quite a bit different for me and how everything went down. So, before I start, I was at FanFest when I saw this. And I kind of fucked up. I was in the merch line behind a wall where I couldn't see the fucking trailer play. I couldn't see the trailer playing. I could hear it. And and I had gone to FanFest with Nari, and this is, like, one of the main reasons you go to something like this, to be live, see the trailer. But because the FanFest merch line was so bad, I was stuck in it behind a wall only listening. And I had no idea what was going on. All I know is, like, people were, like, screaming and, like, ah! Stuff like that, and, like, talking about, like, Dragoon or something. And, like, I'm, like, a main Dragoon at the time.
He's 16.
So I didn't even get to see it. Oh, properly. It was so messed up. Pre-washed. Wait, is this the... Oh, this might be the wrong one. Hold on. Oh, no, it's sorry. It's good. Also remember that as a 1.0 player, we could see Ishgard in the distance in 1.0. We could never enter it. So this is, like, another major impact for, like, 1.0 players, I think. Because we never got our chance to step into Ishgard. And it was kind of something we always like talked about. There was lore and everything. You would like fight Estinian in like the Dragoon quest and all this different kind of stuff in like 1.0. So we had so much lore build up, and then we had to sit through all of AR plus all the downtime before AR. This is all, when I saw it at FanFest though, it was before we knew about this happening. So we didn't know the setup for it. So this is a little different. Fucking Lalafels. Evil Lalafels. Sultana's fine. All the other Lalafels, evil. Remember it. Raubon lost his arm to evil Lalafels. It was so hype seeing the dragons, though. At the time, we had no idea they were all a spell crew, though. I don't remember if they had this part at the original trailer. They might have. Seeing Ishgard like inside though for the first time and understanding what was going on though is kind of fucking crazy. I think they opened this in the original one. It just didn't go to the extent of it like this. So like the zoom out here is like crazy because you can see like the sea of clouds and everything. The mountain looks insane now, like looking back on it, because I never noticed it. I think when I originally watched the trailer, seeing all of Dravania like that. That fucking smirk, man. That smirk. The music was so fucking cool here. The gauntlet going on like that and snapping on is so badass too. Armorborn, yeah. It was my expansion. My expansion. It's funny because like Dragoon was still super powerful. All of Heavensward into Stormblood, and then like even kind of in the beginning of Shadowbringers, like Dragoon was stupid strong. You thought I was a samurai main? Look, samurai didn't exist, and lo and behold, hey, look at me now. Do you see me as a samurai? No, you see me as a Dragoon. I'm returning to my roots for Endwalker, okay? It's my expansion. Crit is just too strong. I know, because of Battle Lightning. Anyhow, like, I didn't know about anything about that, but, like, we actually got to be the poster boy and be, like, the important, like, DPS at the time. I made friends. Everyone loved me because I had Disembowel and Battle Litany, okay? That was my expansion. Making friends, yeah. Okay, let me get the Stormblood one up. I don't know. That, like, the music, though, for that trailer is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it gives you chills. At least for me. This is the biggest fucking tease trailer, okay, for me. And let me explain when we get into it, but there's so much stuff that tickled me, and this is how I converted into a samurai, okay? And I played Final Fantasy XI, and my main job in Final Fantasy XI was samurai. Everyone looked down on dragoons in Final Fantasy XI because they were like, they're nasty, okay? The only thing they were good at was being like a healer, like solo thing. I don't know how to explain it, and then throwing like one ability. And so I had pretty much all Final Fantasy XI like pretty much stuck with samurai. That was like the main job. Samurai was OP as fuck. And we never had samurai in Final Fantasy XIV until obviously Stormblood. But like the debate, one of the things that Yoshida said back in Heaven's Ward when they were implementing it was like, are they going to give us Dark Knight or are they going to give us samurai as the tank for Heaven's Ward, right? And fortunately for me, they waited to give samurai because otherwise it would have been a tank. Night Zeris. And you know what? It paid off, and I got pretty much exactly what I wanted. I pretty much fanboyed the shit out of this trailer. I did not understand this. When we started seeing this with Relger's Reach right there, initially, it was like, what the hell is going on? Where are we going? It was a good guess that it was Alamingo, though, based on story stuff. And we saw the monk, and we thought, oh, there were so many people that initially thought she was Dancer, but no one knew she was Lise or Ida initially right away. And by the way, she is fucking hot in this trailer. I think she is, in this trailer, is one of the hottest characters. This is the biggest tease ever. The booba is massively strong. If Dancer was more like this, it'd be so fucking cool too. Because she had like a blade on her arm. Lisa's peak with the CGI, yeah. Blonde with ponytail as life. It's true. How could you guess? Too bad it was all downhill release after. I know. I'm so upset. This is the biggest tease for me. I think it's amplified worse because this trailer exists. And then this happened. Like, we initially saw that, like, I was like, oh my god, are we actually gonna do Garlemald? And then it was like, holy shit. Because it said Doma. I was like, freaking the fuck out. When I saw Weep stuff, I like knew. Yeah. It was like immediately when I saw the underwater part, and then like you start hearing this music, like I was like, hey, "Where's the samurai? Where's the samurai?" It's so fucking anime. Look how old he's become. I know. It's crazy how old Dirtlander gets. And his hair is so much different than the Muck outfit, too. I seriously thought this was going to be my favorite expansion after seeing all that. Just like the zoom out, samurai, hot ponytail, blonde character. And then the music is like really good too. It's not as good as Heaven's Words, but it's still so good. It gave me so much chills seeing that. And it hyped me up so much. I think this was the... I'm going to be honest. This was the most hyped I was ever for any expansion. Even though Heaven's Ward had Dragoon, even though Heaven's Ward had finally going to Ishgard, this is probably the highest point of pre-hype from a trailer for me, just because Samurai, Weeb area, blonde ponytail main character, or like MSQ character. It was unfortunate for me that like I did not enjoy the story so much for this. The content though, I definitely think like a lot of people like, I think Stormblood definitely had the best end game content. Like the 24-man with Ivalice, amazing. The Omega, like even though there's highs and lows in Omega, the fact that we got Ultimate, I think was a major like thing that so many people had been wanting. And like I had so much fun with like having UCOB that it was a really, really high point, right? And then Eureka. Eureka for me, I know a lot of people hate Eureka. And I know a lot of people hate Pagos. But Eureka for me was one of my most memorable parts of the game when we got to Baldesi and Arsenal. Like, doing Baldesi and Arsenal with a 56-man group is so much fun. And, like, discovering everything along the way as you're doing it, and then eventually getting to Ozma and getting to Ozma Mount. And they even had, like, from Absolute Virtue from Final Fantasy XI in there. So, I don't know. It really stood out to me as something special as far as like content goes. I don't feel like in Stormblood I ever was like bored. The trials were okay. I think Heaven's Ward definitely had the best extreme trials, by the way. But content wise, I just felt like I was never bored in Stormblood. It was very, very cool for me. XV created a lot of nostalgia content, which is amazing. Yeah, for sure. Like, if you're a longtime Final Fantasy fan, and I know there's a lot of people that, like, are brand new, never touched any other Final Fantasies. I mean, Nari's that way, right? And if you've never touched Final Fantasies, like, sometimes you can even kind of experience it with people, I think, by just, like, hearing stories from people about when they played, like, old Final Fantasies and, like, where they saw that kind of stuff from. And obviously it doesn't hit you in exactly the same way, but I think it's always cool to, like, if you don't know a lot about a particular character or like something that's like referencing something from an old Final Fantasy, you can always go look it up and find a little bit of more information, get a taste of it. Like I played Final Fantasy III as a kid. But I had no understanding of what the hell was going on. Like I didn't read the dialogue like or stuff like that. Like, and it was like the dialogue that I did read, it was like translated by like it was translated by like a fan. Because they didn't have Final Fantasy 3 as like a game until like the 3DS, or like it was like the DS or something like that, in like a good format. Maybe they did have it on the PS1. I can't remember. For some reason I'm thinking Final Fantasy 3 wasn't like fully like ever like translated for the longest time for people, and I remember having like a really scuffed version of it working on like an emulator, and that was kind of how I experienced it. So especially when Shadowbringers came out, it was something I got to review and like go over and like see the parallels and stuff, and kind of like in a way of like someone who had never experienced it before, and just because I didn't remember it. You think it was on the PS1 with awful load times? Maybe I didn't play it on the PS1. I remember playing FF6 and FF5 on the PS1. I played all the translated FF straight through to the 12 as they came out. Oh, really? I was really young and I didn't understand PCs at the time when I think a lot of those things were coming out and emulators. So I think I maybe got some bad versions or like something. I don't know. And there's also like, I don't know if I fully have ever absorbed some of the old Final Fantasies correctly when I was younger, because there are things that I just don't recall that I've played, and I would go back now or like hear something from someone else and they'd be like, oh, blah, 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 reference to something in like Final Fantasy VI or Final Fantasy V or something. And I'm like, I was just playing through the battle system and kind of like reading and skimming. Because like the first time I played through Final Fantasy VII, I think I mostly skimmed the text. And then I'd see like Barrett's like text and it'd be like swearing and shit, or like a bunch of like, you know, like blocked out like stuff because he'd be like saying fuck or something, like something more explicit, right? And I'd be like, haha, funny, right? And it's like I was 6 years old at the time. So I just skimmed through it. But it was still fun to play for me. So cutscene skipper? Yeah, I was a cutscene skipper when I was 6 years old. See, you guys have a fairly good chance of me having to switch to Lalafell now. Swap to a Lala. Yeah, there's a bet. So basically, if I skip one single cutscene on stream to an Endwalker, then I have to switch to Lalafell for a week. That's the rule. So I am trying to avoid skipping cutscenes altogether, even by mistake. So that's my rule. Is if my punishment for skipping a single cutscene in Endwalker is I have to go to Lalafell for a week. I'm not going to do it mid cutscenes, but it will be after I finish through the story and stuff like that, because of obviously I want to see my character do the stuff, not a Lalafell. Does it stack? No, it does not stack. It's just a one-time thing. What's the obsession with Lalafell bets and people? It's really disturbing. It's because I think for most people that don't play Lalafell or don't have interest in playing Lalafell, I think they don't want to have their character that they really like be a Lalafell. I think there's like a very big separation of like, some people just like cute small characters, and there's other people that just want normal human beings or like humanoid shaped characters, and Lalafells just hit people in very different ways depending on the person. All right, Shadowbringers. Or I guess I should say this. Now, for me, and I think this is maybe different for people who are going through Shadowbringers now, or sorry, and Stormblood at the very end, and they can go the whole entire way. So, for example, if you finished off like with Tsukiyomi, and then you did all of like the content that's like from the MSQ all the way up until when Shadowbringer starts, the full flow through, I think it's probably fine now. But as a actual player that was active at the time, I actually felt Stormblood finished off kind of weak. And I was like, man, they're really not like giving us anything here, and we're like there's not much to look forward to. Like, what the fuck are they doing? This next expansion can't be that good, right? And I'm not that hyped about it. And it's like, yeah, cool. People are getting pulled out of their bodies, ha ha ha. Yeah, but when are we gonna go fight the Garlean Empire and all this kind of stuff? And during the presentation for Shadowbringers, Yoshida was, yeah, you guys are gonna go fight the Garlean Empire and then finish off the Garlean Empire. I'm like, for me, that's what I'm hyped up about, right? I was super fucking hyped about this. That's what I wanted. Like, from the beginning of 1.0, like the Garlean Empire is kind of like the big threat, right? And I wanted that to happen. Like, I wanted to have like a Garlean expansion. I wanted to go to Garlemald and all that kind of stuff. And we never really got that. Even Shadowbringers, we never really still got that. I feel I was like kind of like stupid at the time. I was way too like hyped up on that. And I think it kind of like made me almost like at a disappointing mood. And I think other people probably didn't feel this way, right? Yeah, it can't be that good, right? Exactly. It's like that. Looking back at it now, I'm like, damn, Kai, you're fucking stupid back then. I think the problem was I saw Xenos and I wanted to after he died and everything, I wanted to keep pushing through, and end like basically the story. Like I thought Shadowbringers was going to be the end of the story, and with us resolving the Garlean Empire and like Zodiac Kyloden stuff, right? Oh, guess what? That's not what happens. I always felt like this was like a side isekai content, and it kind of is, but here we go. I was like, damn, okay, here we go. Here's the Garlean Empire fight.
How many years have come and gone since that day?
And this is like fucking cool because it's like, oh shit, samurai like fighting Xenos here.
How many years have I waited for this moment?
It's my job at the time, fighting Big Boy.
For the one that stood alone against the storm.
And that's like so fucking cool.
For the one they called.
It's crazy.
The warrior.
Because that gives you the illusion that you defeat Xenos right there. And that is not what actually happens. But at the time, you thought that was going to happen. And now, some of the best music ever. PTSD. I always like these flashbacks when they were showing this. I love that they had the 1.0 cutscene in there too. And then he's like wearing the 1.0 outfit. Like, dude, update your bard glam. I love that it has the Emmett Cell cloak like so early on. It's crazy because when you see this, it's like as like a 2.0 player, like, wait, that's just a dungeon boss, and we're getting our ass kicked. The jump change part in this trailer is so fucking cool.
What sayest thou, Master Matoya?
And then this scared the shit out of everyone.
We may accept this fate.
Everyone was thinking like,
or defy
did
it,
Matoya
but
possess
I cannot deny it.
Y'shtola? Who is this?
Deny? I am not wont to run from my troubles.
And it's like her mouth, like even there, you didn't see who it was. It's like her mouth, like you just read it and it's like, oh my god, she's fucking hot. You killing my job.
Until our friend returns,
God,
I will hold the
she's
line.
so hot in that cutscene. Literally. And we never got fat male Makotes. And there's our gunbreaker that everyone was dying for.
This town certainly has changed.
I remember just people absolutely freaking out seeing Thinkred like that. Just hearing the like the gun trigger effects from like Squall and ffxiv. And it actually looks like a gun blade.
I'm not going anywhere. I promise you, Minfilia.
People freaking about Minfilia. Yeah. It was like mini Philia. And hearing Eternal Wind here is just like insane. It was so fucking cool. And seeing Crystal Tower. Eternal Wind's like one of my favorite tracks. Like, especially after this.
This tragedy, greater even than the seventh umbral calamity, must be undone.
When you first see that, you have no idea that's Graha either.
If history must be unwritten, let it be unwritten.
Samurai getting stepped on, I was like, fuck.
Become what you must.
God. And here becomes the start of my emo phase. Tank DPS, yeah. Tank is stronger than a DPS.
Become the warrior of darkness.
Oh, it's so fucking cool. The way it's split and everything. And then the zoom in with all the purple effects. They made Dark Knight look so badass in that cutscene. Like, I think I got super hype for Shadowbringers after seeing the full trailer. And I think hearing Eternal Wind and then how it wraps the Crystarium, because it's kind of crazy. So I don't know if people have seen this before. Like, if you haven't seen this, I think this might be something that's interesting to you guys. So Crystarium is modeled actually off of something from 1.0. Watch this. This is what made Crystarium. Like, they based Crystarium off of. This super old CGI. Oh wait, did they show this during a live letter? Yeah, the tech demo for 2005. I never saw this. Even as a 1.0 player, I never saw this. It's crazy, but that they based they based Crystarium off of this though. Just a fucking tech demo there for the original Rapture. It looks like FF10. It kind of does. Those models, this outfit right here, actually, right here, and this is a thief outfit. See this outfit right here? Hold on, I'll show you. So this person walking right here, it's a thief's outfit from Final Fantasy XI, or it's very similar. One second, I'll show you. Or it's called the Rogue's armor, but this is the thief's like artifact armor from 1.0, or sorry, from FF11. So this is what the thief's outfit looks like. But if you, there's a blue version of it too. But if you look at the oh, where is it? This right there, that guy's wearing. I'm pretty sure they just used like upgraded like FF11 outfits for all of this. Yeah, it's crazy that even Crystarium has like ties like way back then. Taru is scary. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of crazy because you see this part, or is it? Right here. And it like kind of looks like it, and you can tell. And then they showed off the area. What? They're playing. Oh yeah, you're right. No, you're right. It is the Derplander start area from the 1.0 trailer. I know. I didn't even think about that. You know what? They're even wearing some 1.0 looking outfits in the cutscene. Oh shit! I never noticed that before. No, we were watching that earlier. I never noticed their outfits were 1.0 outfits like that. That's crazy. I think this is such a weird point for me. Because did we know when we initially saw the very first trailer that we were going to the moon? I don't even remember. No, you just guessed the moon. I guess that's true. I don't think we had lyrics in the initial video. Now, the armor looks so fucking good in the CGI trailer, and he's so scuffed up looking. And he looks like an Asian when he's walking from the sun like that. Oh my god. And then seeing like the Square Enix blue is fucking hilarious.
The final days were upon us.
And hearing Emmett gave me chills. Holy shit, he's narrating. I think this is the first time we ever had the twins in a trailer, too. Warrior like buying SE Clout, yeah. Oh shit, Paladin coming to save the day. Where's the Paladin Flame Shield, okay? That was so fucking cool, single lasers like that.
Are you alright?
You can tell they're Gundam obsessed after doing like all the weapons storylines too.
And I've had enough of this rabble. Come on.
The coolest looking killer.
As the chaos spread,
This shit looks so insane.
the stars seemed doomed to unravel. And yet,
When I saw this part with the fucking dragon coming out of the sky,
there were those
this part
who
blew my
stood in
mind.
defiance of that fate.
And seeing a massive fucking dragon song dive. Oh, okay, I'm gonna be honest. This is like single-handedly probably one of the things that made me want to come back to Dragon. Like, it's this cutscene. The big ass dragon song dive is so cool. Oh yeah, the Stormblood remix is really good. There were people like drawing and trying to. Is that a sight?
The stage is set, but will our heroes deign to play their part? You took your time. 'Tis as we feared. The respite afforded this land was but fleeting. The end draweth nigh.
Oh my god. And seeing this, it's... Oh man, this is so fucking pretty seeing it. I can't... I'm ready to see this in game. I mean, we've seen it in like people walking around, but like I really want to be able to explore it myself. And then Graha, going down to Graha's porn chamber.
I knew it.
He's looking at all the Final Fantasy XIV hentai right now. He's like, damn, we're lights out there are fucking disgusting degenerates. So many secrets. And up here, they're like giving judgment to Yoshola, being like,
So, Charlian would keep its
how
counsel
dare
while the
you
world is lost to ruin.
forsake our purity and our Christian community.
We shall live on.
We can't be on your side. Do you know how much hentai exists of you?
Do as you must then, but we scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
How dare you wear black in a white room? Yeah. Edgy boy. I'm be so mad when you're a scion. Or with us. Get Shola walking to wall. This part's so cool. Seeing the first piece just like, blows up. Yeah, they actually make Paladin look pretty badass. And then the fucking moon. Pizza slice, go into the moon. That was like the best Photoshop. I remember Suda making that. I think it was Suda that made it. It's just like putting a fucking pizza slice on the logo. Fall 2021. Yeah, December is December 3rd is definitely fall, guys. December 3rd is definitely fall. Let's watch this one more time. November 19th, guys. Yeah, November 19th in 3 days.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown.
Man.
A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux.
It's so scary seeing this trailer. No hiding? Okay, no problem, no problem. It'll be over quick. I'm not gonna pause it.
That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end.
I think Amurai is like my favorite thing from Shadowbringers. Besides the music.
And there in the depths where souls and stars rest.
Anytime we get to see Amarat stuff, I'm like really happy.
Maybe we don't belong here. But neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold.
I don't know why, like, seeing this, like, or listening to this, like, gets me super emotional without even, like, having, like, done the content yet.
Walk free and bear the light for others to follow.
Come. Let me relieve you of your burden.
It has such a different, like, feel, too, than, has such a different feel than, Shadowbringers one.
The sky burns. The final days are truly upon us.
Oh god. Oh, I'm not gonna stop it. But there's definitely some of these things that are made out of monsters from the world. Like, some of these are like the elephant dudes, if you look at them, like, for a long time.
Are we truly so powerless that our only choice is to
It's definitely like some Sin Eater type stuff going on.
We've come too far to back down now.
And this is before he makes... Oh. This is where Xenos makes his proposal to be the in the Scions. It's like, be with me, marry me. This part. I don't know why. Seeing Amaradians just like hit me weird too. And this music's so good right here.
It will be ours again. A world free of sorrow.
Let the
Pokaris.
It's so simple, just guy walking forward, but
The final chapter in the tale of the star.
oh, the music. Yeah, the music's literally perfect.
To have you at my side, it means more to me than you know.
Ah,
Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Given what lies ahead, I did not wish to leave for later that which I could do today. After all, tomorrow is never promised.
and the bittersweet ending with the date. I don't know, it hits so much different. I think it's like, I think it's a lot of people in a lot of different ways, and the music definitely hits really strongly, and like everything that's going on is just like, it's crazy to think like over 10 years ago I started playing this. I don't know, it hits really weird to know it's like, at least this section of it is like coming to an end in a lot of ways. Is this safe to come back? Yeah, you're good. It's like thinking about like, oh my god, like the references even like with the star shower and stuff like that, you saw that all the way back in 1.0, and like thinking about like, did they actually like, did they have like any of this like semi-planned, or like did they have some level of like planning like way back when what they were gonna do with it, like with the overarching story? Or is this like just some like godly writing that they took what they had and salvaged it? It hits weird for me. Because I don't know what's gonna happen after like, I don't know what's gonna happen after the expansion. It feels like, even though like, how do I say this? It feels like even though they keep constantly saying like it's not ending, it feels like it's ending, and it feels like a giant, like a massive chapter in my life. It's like ending with this.